Yeah, Clint just called me a curmudgeon. Not very nice.
Accurate, though.
True.
Trump had introduced all of 2 people at the State of the Union. He's like, how many people are we going to introduce? So far, it's been 2. The First Lady and Second Lady.
First and Second Lady. And I was complaining about it already.
He got you a Buc-ee's drink and everything.
I know. It makes me happy. Appreciate it. Yeah. And to be perfectly clear, it's just Diet Coke. And it's a fountain Diet Coke. And anybody who argues and says that it's not the greatest drink of all time is lying to you.
Lying. I guess. I don't drink it. I don't know.
They are lying. Because Diet Coke is hands down the best drink you can drink.
Sweet tea.
Oh, no, sir.
Look at this guy.
You have to have Diet Coke. What is it?
Look at this Rocky Patel.
Oh, it's a dark.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dark. Very dark. And
13th anniversary edition. 30.
13th or 30th?
30th.
I
was about to say, that's a really odd year to be like, here's our anniversary edition.
So I was introduced
to... how old are you?
I was introduced to a new cigar company last night. But let me see if I can find the name.
You were introduced.
I was introduced. I was shown it, an image of it. And then when I looked it up, it is way out of my price range. So the youngest cigar that they carry is 15 years old.
Okay.
The name is Fortune Hunter Cigars. So the guy that I was talking to...
Sounds like the name fits.
Yeah. Yeah. The guy I was talking to about it, and he was like, yeah, like one of the cigars I got was like $250 a pop. He's like, maybe I can get you one. I was like, hey, how about you get me 2?
It never hurts to ask.
And we'll talk about it on the podcast and tell him we'll give him some free advertising time or whatever it's called.
A $250 cigar will get you a lot of time.
Yeah, on
the Cigar Politico.
I don't know. Either that or it'll get you no time because it won't be any good.
Yeah, that's true.
I have had expensive cigars that were not good.
Yeah.
I say expensive. Expensive for me.
Yeah.
Which is not hard. Which is not very difficult.
Yeah, it's not hard to get that.
And I left my Chromebook and my laptop, both of them. I have 3. I left both of them at work today. There's a good reason why. I left in a hurry for a short period of time. You know the phone call you get, and it's like, you need to pick up your phone now. I was like, okay. Okay, but there's a backstory to this too, because normally in my classroom I don't answer my phone. Okay. So if my school phone rings, I'm probably not answering it.
Right.
And for obvious reasons, right? There's obvious reasons why. If I'm teaching...
I'm sure it's obvious to some people. It's not obvious to me, but...
Do you answer your like if your office phone rings, do you answer it no matter what?
I don't even have one.
Oh, gosh. But there are times where I guess I suppose I should answer my phone. And today was one of those days. And I did not answer. And daughter number two was...
Who was it that said you need to pick up your phone now?
My wife.
Oh, okay.
And daughter number 2 fell while roller skating backwards.
Okay.
And nurse said, probably need to go to the ER.
Oh.
Possibly, can I borrow your ladder? Possibly.
Concussed.
No, broken wrist.
Oh.
So.
You look so naked over there without anything in front of you.
I know. I got my phone. I got my drink. And you got all the stuff over there. I do feel kind of lost, though, because I don't know what's next on the list. So I'm going to have to figure out how to manage that. But it's okay. I got you. But anyways, I digress.
You
and
have a preview on that computer right there.
Long of the short is it did not break, severely sprained. And I went back to work, though. And but I was all out of sorts. So I left it. It does happen. I think you're muted. Yep, you are. Uh-oh.
Hold up.
Oh, there it went.
There it goes. Oh, that's not good. Okay.
You're there. Do you have an extra one of those?
Yeah.
You have an extra mic cable.
You ever seen that clip of Steve Ray Vaughan? He's playing at the Montreux Jazz Festival, and he breaks a string, and he keeps playing and singing, and his tech comes up and takes off his guitar and puts him a new guitar on, and he picks up right where his solo is supposed to start.
Yeah. That was the moment right there.
No, that was not the moment right there, but it made me think about that. Like live on the pod, we got to change out some cables.
Great guitar player, by the way.
Yeah.
Best of all time?
I mean, close. I always tell my oldest son loves ranking things, and he, especially with sports, he's always ranking. Like he'll make a list of the last 20 Super Bowl MVPs and he'll rank them. Like that's just he just gets a sheet of paper and this is what he does all day. And he's always like, who's your favorite this? Who's your favorite that? And I'm like, I really struggle to have favorites. I can give you my top 5.
That's fair.
So, man, this is a good cigar.
I'm going with the Patel Habano.
Okay. So we're both...
Not Patel. Sorry. Padermo
okay.
Habano. Sorry. You said Rocky Patel. That was on my mind. This is the second one that I brought last week instead of the dark Gurkha. And I do have 2 more in case we decide to go.
In case it turns to a 4-hour.
Yeah, I don't think it'll turn into that today. It's already kind of late.
The State of the Union is going on right now. We made the conscious decision not to take the entire show and live tweet stream it, but we'll have our comments when we record again.
I think that suits us better, though.
It certainly does.
We are not live.
You don't like the State of the Union.
I do not. I think I've taken my opinion back on that, though.
Okay.
That's a peek behind the curtain. I texted Clint, said I don't like the State of the Union address. I don't like the pomp and circumstance around it. Now, let me be clear about that. I don't like let him give his speech and go about the way. Like, quit standing up and interrupting him.
Oh.
Quit. That's the part that I dislike because it's like we don't got to stand up and talk because he says, and the State of the Union is good. And then it's, well, yeah, we hope that's what it is. But the reality is it's probably
something to cheer for.
You know what I mean? Or it's like, and we want to welcome this guest. Clap, 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 clap.
That's what it's about. When you said you didn't like the pomp and circumstance, I messaged back, I love it. But I wasn't talking about that so much, all the applause lines and whatnot.
Yeah.
I was talking about when the sergeant at arms stands at the back of the room.
Oh, see, I like that.
Mr. Speaker.
Yeah.
And I just like, that has gone on for a couple hundred years.
Yeah. Well, probably longer than that because that's parliamentary style stuff.
It's a pretty cool thing.
That is cool. I like that part. Parts of it I like, parts of it I don't like. If you missed the beginning of the pod, I said Clint called me a curmudgeon because Trump introduced people and I didn't like it.
But we are the type to digest things and then talk about them. So that does fit our style. But also, like I'm a Trump fan, voted for him 3 times. I don't like his speaking style.
It's hard to watch.
Sometimes. I don't like the if I ever watched a Trump rally like the one they did in Madison Square Garden before the election, I wasn't watching to hear what Trump had to say. I don't like. I agree with a lot of his policies. Don't agree with some things. We've talked about all that stuff on the pod. That's not what I'm saying. But I don't like listening to the guy talk. His cadence, his voice,
it's
like
awful.
Even just his voice, and then the over the top ego. Like anybody who does their Trump impersonation, they always start off by saying it's going to be the greatest. It's the greatest thing ever. I just like that gets under my skin.
But it's true. That's what he says.
That is what he says every time. So, I mean, I did used to watch The Apprentice, though.
That's edited, though.
It was a fun show.
It was a fun show.
Because they had celebrities. I know they had a non-celebrity apprentice, but I preferred the celebrity apprentice.
Wasn't T.O. on that at one point?
I don't remember T.O. He might have been. He probably was.
Later on in the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm neither here nor there. I'll catch the clips. I did record it, though. I do record it every year, so that way if something does happen live and I want to go back and make sure I get the full context of it.
That's the thing. will watch the whole thing, but I digress.
So I'm thinking about buying a cowboy hat.
Okay.
You saw that on there, and you're like, "What the heck is he talking about?"
Where is he going with this?
I went and tried on a cowboy hat. I don't own one currently. I know. I live in Texas. Don't have a cowboy hat.
Okay.
But I really want to buy one, but they're so dadgum expensive.
Yeah,
for me to investment. Like a couple $100. I don't have a pair of boots either.
About to get your Texas card taken away.
Oh, well, definitely wouldn't be the first time that somebody tried to take it away from me. But I was like, I've been on this for about 6 months.
Though, like investing in a good pair of boots and a good hat. Like that's a good chunk of money if you're never going to wear it.
Yeah, probably like $600-700.
Yeah.
I mean, a good cowboy hat's a good $250, and a good pair of boots are smoke ring. A good pair of boots is about the same, $350
at least. Yeah.
But we went to it's the one over there in Rockwall, not Cavender's, but there's another, like a boot town or something like that. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, I think I want a pair of boots.
Do it.
The problem is I don't have that cash to spend. You
got to find a good pair of boots. I don't like Justin boots. Justin boots have they're more stovepipey type, and I got some calves. I don't miss calf day, leg day. And so it's not comfortable. I love all of my boots are all Ariats, and they're all square toe because I got a wide foot and I got big calves. Those Ariats, they fit nice and they're comfortable.
I will, if this happens, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there.
And then
if I have a cowboy hat on in a couple weeks.
I'll wear mine if you wear yours.
We know that we bought cowboy hats and cowboy boots.
Stetson 20X.
Is that the kind that you have?
That's what I got, yeah.
That's one of them. I think the George Strait hat is the one that I liked. Like George Strait has a brand of cowboy hats.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
A couple of country singers have them. I think Jason Aldean had one.
Probably all made in China.
I did not look.
I don't think so. But
I would also, there's a guy on TikTok that makes like custom
Are you going to get a big feather?
No, I think I would go, I really liked like the dark brown, like the chocolate color. I didn't like black.
See, I don't have a lot of color. I have black and straw, and that's it.
I do have a sombrero. Does that count?
No.
Oh, okay. Another quick update with life. I talked about my son's heart surgery or heart appointment. Everything's good. I had a couple people ask about that. Everything's good. It's a very, 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 very low chance that anything will ever happen again. But it's not zero.
Yeah.
Like less than 1% because they fixed the problem that caused the surgery.
Yeah.
So
those checks are every year or how often?
Yearly. Yeah. And then like if he's going into, like, for example, we're going into coach pitch baseball. And so we just kind of had to go in and get some recommendations on like what do we need to do to protect his chest, things like that. So he's going to wear a little chest protector.
Yeah.
So we're excited about coach pitch baseball. Little league basketball was a Ofer.
Ofer?
But we went Ofer.
Hey, it's only up from here.
We shot 29 times. We were 3 for 29, but 3 for 29. The other team, 5 for 12.
That wins the game.
And I don't know. I looked at my assistant coach this week, and I was like, "We're going to count how many times we shoot today." And he's like, "Okay." And 3 for 29 later, we lose the game. I'm ready to move on though to baseball because I am over it. I'm over it. And
so you got a couple shows on the run sheet. You watching a couple shows?
I am. So I'm watching The Pit.
Yep.
And
it's a great show.
It's a great show.
I will say, similar to how we talk about The West Wing, you got to understand that it's a ER in Pittsburgh, and their political opinions are going to be different than yours.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't care about that, like I can watch a show and like I can see that, and it's not going to be like, oh, they're a bunch of liberals, I'm going to turn it off. No, I don't care. Like they're in Pittsburgh.
Even pick up on that much.
Oh, that's what I expect.
And maybe that's why. Maybe I just expect it, so I'm not too terribly.
And I just don't
care.
Like, okay, whatever. If that bothers you, though, you won't like it. But if that does not bother you, then it's a great show, man. I like that one a lot.
And then I'm watching.
Are you caught up on it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. A new episode comes out on Thursday.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to watch that like the shows that I'm into, especially the new ones. I try to watch them at least within 24 hours of the release because I don't want to get spoilers on TikTok or social media. So I try to watch them as quickly as possible. The other one that it just finished this past week, is the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and it's the new Game of Thrones, the Hedge Knight story.
Yep.
Fantastic. I don't know if you watched that.
We did. Yeah.
Okay. And then we have House of Dragons coming up in June.
Yeah, season 3.
Pretty excited about that. It's going to be interesting, though, like the difference in the tone and the because, this one was pretty lighthearted. I mean, it was still pretty dark, but it was like there were some comedic bits in there.
Different story, different showrunner.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how.
Have you read the books?
I have not. Have you?
Yes.
It was my understanding that this one goes pretty much along with the novella that it was written in. And then the next one, I am going to get the book and read the second novella before I watch the next one.
Yeah.
So, but no, I did not get into Game of Thrones until it was already off the air.
We started watching the original where they were in season 5, and it ran for 8 seasons. So we binge watched all the way up to season 5 and then had to
catch up.
Had to wait for seasons to come out.
Oh, gosh. That sucks.
House of the Dragon has 2 seasons. Season 3 comes out in June. The last season, season 4, will come out in 2 years in 2028.
Yep.
So it's every 2 years, which there's a lot of work that goes into that because there's a lot of dragons. Dragons are expensive. And Night of the Seven Kingdoms is going to be every year. Mm-hmm. And they haven't put a limit on how many seasons for that.
Well, there's only 3. There's only 3 novellas, though, in it.
They say, though, like Ira Parker, the showrunner, is talking to George R. R. Martin about extending that. And the story of the protagonist in it, Sir Duncan the Tall, does have an end to it.
Right.
So they could, Ira Parker said they could take the show to 12 seasons if people keep watching. I'm like, well, I don't know how you're going to extend this story out for another 11 seasons, but. Yeah.
Well, you'd have to have George R. R. Martin expand the story.
Yeah, but he dies. Like, how are you going to keep going?
No. I'm saying like you would have to expand the, like right now, this is really a lot of nerd talk right here, but they're headed to Dorne. So you would have to expand that storyline on how do they get there and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, and I don't like it when they do too much of that.
Yeah, me either.
Like the second to last episode when they went and did the flashback for like most of the episode, I was like...
Yeah, that was not in the book.
Yeah, I was like, are we not going to get to the battle? Because I'm just waiting for because I know what happens and I know who dies.
Right.
And so I was trying to get my wife. I was like, do you want to guess who dies? And she was like thinking, well, and she did not guess. And I was like, well, you'll just have to wait and see.
I did not guess that one. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, by the way.
It's a major. I mean,
it's a major character.
It's Game of Thrones. They're not afraid to kill off people.
That is also true.
So
that is also true.
Nobody's safe.
And that makes the show so good. Like in the first season, when Ned dies,
yeah,
I was like, oh my gosh, you just killed off the main character.
Yeah.
In the first season. Spoiler alert, that came out 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's no spoiler alerts after 5 years.
Okay.
Least. But House of the Dragon, this next season, you're going to like it really starts to happen.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought season 2 was kind of slow.
Yes, it was. Slow. Like Tumbleton is where it goes down.
Okay.
And so I told my wife when we were watching the second season, I was like, when are they going to get to Tumbleton? Like that's whenever, I mean, things are kicking off.
Right.
But it really, really hits the fan when that happens.
Okay. So, but you've read that book as well. Those books, is there 2?
Just one. It's called Fire and Blood.
Okay. Yeah. I tried to read, I read the first Game of Thrones, the first book. Is it of Ice and Fire?
Yeah.
So I read most of that one.
The series is called A Song of Ice and Fire.
Right. So, but the first book is what?
Feast for Crows.
Okay, so I read most of that one because I got to where John gets to the wall.
Okay.
And then that's where I stopped reading because it was like, okay, well, I kind of already know what happens now.
Yeah.
Things in the mail.
The show happens in episode 2.
The what?
Which of the show happens by episode 2?
Oh.
That's how quickly.
Yeah, he gets to the, yeah. But he doesn't get to the wall in the book until way, way, way later. 2 things. 1, do you like jury duty?
No.
You don't? That kind of shocks me, honestly.
No, it's not a waste of time, but I feel like it's a waste of time. Like I just feel like I have a lot better things to do.
That really shocks me. I thought you would enjoy it. I
feel like there are some people, and I could be totally wrong about this, and this is going to sound snarky. I just feel like it's easier for some people to be out of work.
Okay. Fair.
And away from like the normal things of life. I'm like, we got stuff to do, man.
Yeah.
We got time to be sitting here.
I enjoy it.
I almost got picked once.
I've been picked. I got picked in a car accident, like a civil suit. It was like 20 years ago, and I was the alternate, and I didn't get to go into the jury room until one of the jurors got sick, and then they had to start the deliberation over, so that way I could hear everything. It wasn't that bad. It didn't take that long. It wasn't even more than a day, but it was interesting. That's to say the least. But also things you get in the mail. I've been getting all these dadgum mailers in the mail. I meant to bring them, but of course.
Political ads, but I put one on our run sheet that I want to show later.
I got 3 in 1 week.
Oh my gosh.
Bashing Wesley Hunt.
Yeah?
Yeah, 3 in 1 week.
They're coming after him.
And I would take that as a compliment if I was him.
Yeah.
Because there's some scary, I guess they're scared of him a little bit to a certain extent. The other ones have been like, not really bashing. It's just, hey, vote for me.
Yeah.
Type of local stuff and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I've gotten a couple of those in the mail. We'll get to that in just a second. But the other thing before we really hop into the show, I hate being an adult. I hate it. Okay. And here's the list of things that I hate about being an adult. Okay. You ready? Buying tires. Yeah, I despise buying tires.
I remember when I was in high school, it was like Pet Boys or Discount Tire would be just like 4 tires for $99. Deals, those deals don't exist anymore.
Heck no. So I had to buy new tires for my truck. Now, mind you, I don't drive my truck all of that far. So like it's 10 years old and has like 70,000 miles on it. The tires I had on there needed to be changed. They're 8 years old. And I ran over a nail or something. I went to get it patched. He was like, yeah, man, we can't really patch it. This tire already has 4 patches in it. I'm like, oh gosh. And so, you can't really not replace all of them, especially if they're all need to be replaced. That's the first thing. That's the first thing I hate. Anytime that someone's like, any type of like, not regular maintenance, like oil changes, stuff like that, I despise taking care of those things. Like tires, registration, inspection, those types of things, I despise. Because it's like, why do I got to do this? Well, you got to go to work. Well, so then I guess I got to drop $1,000 on tires. Not really, but I got some mid-grade tires, and they were around $800. And these were not like the super cheap ones, but these were not the really expensive ones either.
Yeah.
The guy that was right beside me was buying some kind of specialty mud tire that they had shipped. Would you like to guess how much those tires cost per tire? He was driving like a F-350.
Oh yeah.
It was a little bit jacked up.
Yeah.
$1,500 a piece.
For each tire.
That's tire.
More than I would have guessed.
Each tire. Now they were some fancy. This is not the wheels.
Yeah.
This is just the tire.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's more than the value of my truck. Not really. But it's like, why are you spending $6,000 on tires?
Speaking of vehicles, I learned today that concrete is harder than my truck. Did you see it?
No.
You didn't see it?
I didn't see it.
Oh, yeah. It's obvious.
Did you hit it? You hit concrete?
I did.
Oh,
with
no.
the side of my truck.
Oh, no.
Even worse. It's one thing for a bumper.
Yeah.
Like, a bumper is like $800 to $1,000. You can buy one on the auto parts store. You might have to bend a couple brackets back, but I've had to do that before. Not on my vehicle, my wife's vehicle. And it was an actual chrome bumper. Not like they have today. They're all fiberglass and plastic. But I was in a parking garage. And I like to find the spot that's on the end because I only have to worry about one person getting too close to me. So I can back my truck in right next to it if I don't have anybody with me. So the passenger side, I can line that sucker up right next to the wall.
Right.
Well, it was a little half wall. And when I left like a stinking idiot, I just pulled out, turned, and just dragged the whole side of my truck into this little concrete half wall. I mean, I caught it quick. But once you're in it, it's like there's no way to get out of it.
Yeah, you either got to back up and
which you're still gonna mess it up backing up. So it's like once you're in it, it's like you can't pull your truck sideways and get out of it. So thankfully, almost all the damage is the passenger side rear quarter panel.
Okay.
Between where like the bed starts and the front of the tire.
Okay.
It's all right there. And it's just like dented in, so I don't think they're going to have to like replace the panel or anything. I think they'll be able to pop it out and Bondo it. And I got cousins who own a body shop, but they live in Delaware. I ain't taking it up to Delaware. So I showed my daughter and I was like, this is what insurance is for. I got to find out how much it is first, but it's, I also got pulled over today.
Oh no.
And I don't break rules. Like I'm a rule follower. Like I don't speed that much. And so I really wasn't doing anything at all this time. And I was like, well, what is this about? The state trooper's behind me. And I'm like, whatever, dude, I'm going speed limit, use my turn signal, whatever. And he lights me up and I'm like, what is this? Like, what the heck did I just do? I knew he was back there. It wasn't like he caught me doing something. And so I pulled over and my center taillight is out, the one up above the bed, the center middle one.
What?
I mean, he didn't write me a ticket. He just gave me a warning. But he did like run my license and do all that stuff. And like he was a state trooper. They probably have a little. I've been pulled over before having a taillight out and the cop just walked up and said, hey man, your passenger side taillight's out. Just want to let you know, have a nice day. And like let you just keep going.
Right.
Like a local, county or city cop. State troopers probably do a little more, but he ran my license and checked my insurance and all that stuff.
He sent you a formal warning?
Warning, yes.
Oh man.
I mean, which I appreciate. Like you could give someone a ticket for that if you wanted to. So
that would be dumb.
I appreciate the warning.
We do have some troopers that listen to this, by the way.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. So my aunt works in the
one of your buddies in Rowlett today.
No, these guys are in Central Texas.
Okay. Well, in Rowlett today, doing his job. I'm not like mad about it or anything. I just, whenever he lit me up, I was like, I know I was doing nothing because I've been watching you behind me for.
So you were driving very cautiously. What you're saying,
which I normally do anyway.
Yeah, me too.
You know what makes me upset? So, our road out here, troopers, police officers listening, chime in on this one for me, will you? We have a big main entrance to our neighborhood. And we also have like a lot of neighborhoods, a side road that comes all the way down the whole side of the neighborhood. Has a couple entrances on the side. Right. That's the one I always come in. I'm sure that's the one you always come in because it's closest to my house. Coming in from the main road, there is no speed limit sign. All the way down the road, you will never see a speed limit sign coming in from the main road.
I've noticed that, by the way.
Leaving, you will have one that says 35 because there's a school zone.
Right.
And so the school zone ends, says 35. I got pulled over one time for going like 37 coming into the neighborhood. And he said, if there's not a speed limit sign, the speed limit is assumed for neighborhood streets to be 30 miles an hour.
Really?
And just side note for people who don't know, this is not really a neighborhood street. It's on the outside of the neighborhood.
It's even outside the wall.
There's a whole perimeter. Yeah, it's the outside street.
You might say it's outside the border of your neighborhood.
You're not driving past people's houses.
So wait, you have a border to your neighborhood, right?
I'm not going.
Just making sure.
Yeah. Border wall. I'm not going 37 miles an hour past somebody's house. I just want to clarify that. But I was going 37, and I'm like, well, isn't it 35? He's like, well, coming back the other way is 35. I was like, how does that make any sense at all? And this is not like some divided highway. It's not like a boulevard.
I don't even think there's a line in between the roads.
No, it's not a median or anything. Like it's concrete straight across. It's like, And like, he didn't write me a ticket either. And so I was trying not to be too much of a jerk, but I was like, man.
I agree with you. You're not going to get an argument out of me.
Anyway.
The second thing I hate about being an adult.
Okay. Well, we're going long on this one.
Yeah. Just not being able to go to sleep and wake up whenever you want. Now, this has nothing to do with my kids. This has nothing to do with the dogs that wake me up sometimes. This has nothing to do with my spouse. This has to do with my internal body. Just wakes up 4:45 every day. Why in the world does it do that? I don't
you're old now.
I know. I'm an adult.
Jeff Foxworthy says it's because we have ear hair, and that's what wakes us up.
I mean,
he has a whole bit about it. It's hilarious.
That's a pet peeve of mine, though. So I take care of that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be the guy that has that big, long white hair out here that's waving in the wind.
Bad.
It's so gross.
That's so bad.
So gross. But anyways, while we're talking about dads, can we go to slide 5? And
while we're jumping around on us here?
Yeah, sorry. I jumped around a little bit today. I just want to talk about this.
To skip the U.S. hockey team.
Yeah, we're going to come back to that because I think you might have a thought about this. This is a gentleman by the name of Scott Galloway.
Absolute idiot.
He has a decent podcast, and most of the time his points of view are pretty good. Okay. However,
doubtful.
This one came across and I was like, you are maybe right, maybe wrong. Let's hear.
He's wrong.
I think dads are mostly a waste of time or space for the first, I'll go much further than 2 months. I don't know if I immediately default to, the father needs to be there. I'm a bit, I think, more of a 50s dad. Or, I want to see, I don't even believe men should be in the delivery room. I thought that was so disgusting and unnatural. I wanted them to bring me a baby with a bow in its hair while I smoked a cigarette. But I'm probably a little
Let me try to make
here.
a defense.
Okay, this might be the worst take of all time.
Yeah.
Now, I thought,
you know why?
I thought he was being funny. Like, I really thought like, okay, I'm getting this out of context. So I went back and listened, and he's not.
No.
He's not. He is not being sarcastic. I was not taking that out of context. And we have young men that listen to this podcast, and we have both of our spouses. My wife is listening right now, and that is the worst take ever.
And do you want to know why? The reason, he might be a waste of space.
Maybe.
Because he thinks it's about him. If you think it's about you in that situation, yeah, you're a waste of space. You might as well stay in the waiting room and smoke a cigarette.
100%.
Because it's not about you. Whatever you think about the process, you are there to support. And if you're not going to support, then yeah, go be a waste of space. This guy's an idiot.
My take is you may think that process is gross, and I'll be the first to.
Did he say even for the first 2 years?
Yeah, the first 18 months at minimum.
So you're doing nothing
for nothing.
You're just making your wife, the mother of your child, do everything.
I guess so.
For that whole time.
I guess so.
He is a waste of space.
Now, I wondered if he was like, I didn't feel like a connection to the kid, which, there's a mother-child bond that happens much quicker than with a dad. But I will tell you, the second that they handed me all 3 of my kids, I was like, this is kind of gross, but also what in the heck? This is the greatest miracle I've ever experienced in my entire life.
I've heard that. I've heard people, and everybody's different. Everybody experiences things differently. But every time we got one of our kids, from that instant, that was my kid.
Yeah, 100%.
Whether, because we have all kinds of kids. So whether my wife physically birthed the child or not, that was my kid right then.
Yes. I felt that.
And even in the times whenever you can't, there's so many more things that, especially when we're talking about feeding and things like that, and breastfeeding, that obviously I'm not doing that.
Right.
But if my wife did get up in the middle of the night to do that feeding, I got up too.
Right.
And I was like, can I get you some water? Can I turn off it? And I had to get her water because she had this thing about not drinking water and passing out. So that's a problem. They're like, is your water? Can turn the fan on? You want a blanket? Like, what do you want? Like, just sit here. Like,
yeah. So like our first one, she stayed home. And so she would cause I worked really long hours. And so she would, sometimes I would stay asleep and sometimes I wouldn't. It was kind of a 50-50. With the other two, we would split feeding. She didn't breastfeed.
mm-hmm.
And so like I would get up at 2 a.m. or whatever. And we would split it.
Yep.
Like I didn't change a diaper with the first kid because she stayed at home and she was like, hey, you need to sleep, all that kind of stuff. It was just kind of the agreement that we had. If I needed to change a diaper, I knew how to change a diaper. Right. It wasn't I'm this machismo guy and I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? But like this is bad. This is bad information for dads.
Yes.
Because it's like it makes it almost like the whole feminist movement thing of like, we don't want to have kids because we don't feel any support. Well, this is a bad opinion and this is bad messaging.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Especially for the platform that he has.
If you don't have any kids yet, you're not going to know what to do as a guy. Like you're not going, it's not like you are going to understand and know what to do.
Yeah. 100%.
You're not going to just, but ask. Be observant.
Yes.
And ask.
And don't hold your breath.
Yeah.
In the delivery room. If you get queasy and you feel yourself fading, sit down. That's okay.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to make fun of you.
Let the nurses know. They'll take care of you.
Hey, I don't feel that great. I need to sit down.
They'll take care of you.
And they'll be like, okay, we only want one patient today.
Right.
Did we talk about this?
They
I almost passed out. I almost passed out with the first one.
They've all said that to me. They're like, yes, we only want one patient today. And I'm like, I'll be fine. I'm just going to sit here.
I'm going to drink some water.
Oh, yeah.
But that's terrible advice. I saw that and I thought, you know what? I want to play that for Clint, and I just want to get his natural reaction. I wish I could put it on the slide and you not have watched it.
Oh, yeah.
But, obviously you're the producer of the show, so you're going to hear the clip. But it's just like, that's such a terrible take.
Well, you got my initial take. I texted you as soon as I watched it. Because an idiot.
But yeah, to all the dads, new husbands, and be there to support your wife.
Oh, man.
That's terrible advice. Don't listen to that guy for that take.
Horrible.
Now, I tried to find my USA shirt today. I have a USA. Okay, I bought it in 2004, and I wear it every Olympics for opening ceremony night. That's nice. I just wear it. Even if I'm not going anywhere, and like the only person that really knows about it is me. So when I'm watching the Olympics, I try to wear it. When I'm watching the World Cup, I try to wear it.
Yeah.
I try to be patriotic.
USA #1.
Now, the problem that I have with Olympics is a personal problem. It's in a different time zone.
Yeah, usually.
Typically.
Yeah.
Now, the World Cup is when it comes in. I also want to be clear. I understand there's a difference between the Olympics and the World Cup.
Yes.
Okay,
we've had Winter Olympics here.
Yes, that was a conversation we had in my class.
Okay.
We had kids that didn't know that the Summer Olympics and the World Cup are two different things. We clarified that because there is soccer in the Olympics.
Right.
In the Summer Olympics, not in the Winter Olympics. But on Sunday, about 9:45 to 9:50 a.m. Central Time, the United States defeat the hated Canadians.
Yes.
It was the War of 1812 all over again.
It was just wonderful. You really can't see the slide, but that's the goalie, and I can't say his last name. It starts with an H. But they gave him so the women's hockey team also won, and they were invited to the White House. They declined. They respectfully declined. It wasn't like they did some tirade about we're not. They just said we've got other commitments. And
and they
appreciate the opportunity.
Yes.
So whether there's anything behind that or not, I don't know. But they at least declined the right way. But then they invited the U.S. men's hockey team, who won gold on Sunday, to the State of the Union, which is happening tonight, Tuesday. And the men's hockey team went. Most of them did. Did you see Ottinger didn't?
He did not.
Yeah, whatever.
I kind of respect it for the Stars, because they have a game tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And they are one of 4 teams that play tomorrow.
Yeah.
So he didn't play.
Yeah.
And so he was a backup goalkeeper. So it's I get it. He wasn't the goalie that would played in the game. I think if he had played especially in the gold medal game, he would have gone.
Yeah, I think so.
And I respect that he is trying to do what's best for the Stars. So he also, I saw in an interview today, it was published on X, that he had said it was actually really good for me mentally to get a break,
Mm-hmm.
physically to kind of recover a little bit. Now I was ready, but it's different when you're competing and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a good. I did see, even though we came in second in the medal count, this is the third time in a row. So like, I think we had 14 gold medals.
Right.
It went 8 2 Olympics ago, and then the previous Olympic it was 12, and then now this is 14. So we're coming up, and the Winter Olympics is not our specialty.
Apparently it is now.
We're getting close. We got second as far as like medal.
But we
count.
won hockey, and that's what matters.
That's what matters.
So this is the goalie, and they gave him a Secretary of Defense seal, which is pretty funny for a goalie.
Yeah. It's a great bit.
So he's on the plane with the Secretary of Defense seal and is holding it up with his gold medal. Man, I like all this stuff. These guys, they did the anthem right.
Mm-hmm.
3 of them at least were draped in the American flag whenever they went out on the ice to take their picture, and they won. I love seeing the patriotism.
Well, not only that.
And here's the thing. I understand there's so many. I don't understand it. I observe it, and I know it exists where you have so many of these athletes who will shun the anthem, like Megan Rapinoe and the U.S. women's soccer team.
Is it Rapinoe or Rapino?
I don't really care. But since when did not agreeing with the politics of whoever's in office mean you can't be patriotic anymore?
Right.
That's so dumb.
Well, did you see the one of the ice skaters?
Yes.
She was she's up there and she's kind of living in the moment. The anthem plays, and then she's very quick to correct her behavior and then put her hand. I don't know if she had her hand over her heart or she just kind of stood at attention.
I don't remember her name, but there were 2 of our really good. Well, no, one was a speed skater and one was a figure skater. But yeah, and she is, I wish I could remember her name, but is known for being a liberal.
Yes.
Politically.
Yes.
But you can still be patriotic.
Correct.
I
don't
don't understand.
I didn't see any that were protesting.
Yeah.
As far as that goes.
Yeah.
Now, while we're talking about politics in the Olympics, did you see Kash Patel in the celebration afterwards?
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah, I like that.
And they were catching some of the political landscape was kind of bashing him because he used an FBI private jet. Well, he has to fly there. I mean, if we're going to use a private jet for quote unquote leisure, this is the leisure that I want them to do. I want them to go to an American event.
It's good to have a representative there from the government. Yeah.
And I mean, arguably, he's one of the more recognizable.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Trump, you have Rubio, you have J.D. Vance, you have Pete Hegseth. I mean, maybe RFK, and then maybe Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, for sure.
But then Kash Patel is very recognizable.
Right.
So I appreciate all the patriotism that did go into that.
Yeah, for sure. Deaths in threes, more than threes.
Yeah.
So
it's been a rough
started
time to be
a list.
A celebrity.
Yeah, it does seem like this wasn't a 3. There's more than that, but it is odd to me how it seems like they all come at once.
Yeah.
And so we didn't mention this a week or 2 ago, but Catherine O'Hara of Home Alone and Schitt's Creek fame passed away. Then James Vanderbeek from our growing up times.
Varsity Blues
and Dawson's Creek.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Duvall. What a guy. Did you see the people calling it tragic?
Which
He was
one?
93 years old.
Duvall's?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not tragic.
It's not tragic.
That's a great life.
It's sad. He's gone.
I would say.
And he was still doing movies.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
But I don't think when a 93-year-old who's had a life like that passes away, it's not tragic.
Of the 3, the most tragic was the Vanderbeek.
Vanderbeek, yeah.
Vanderbeek. He died of
pancreatic.
Pancreatic. I thought it was colon, but died of cancer regardless. But then you also had McSteamy from Grey's Anatomy passed away of ALS.
So I don't know him from that, but he did a great show called The Last Ship.
Yes. And he was in Euphoria.
Yeah.
On HBO. I did not watch it, but that's more recent than Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah. But if you haven't seen The Last Ship, that's a good
show.
one.
I saw it.
You can binge that one.
And then today you had a child of a celebrity die. Martin Short's daughter passed away. And I can't help but wonder if like social media pushes some of this, because like 30 years ago we wouldn't have known whoever some comedian actor's child would have been. You know what I mean? Like we wouldn't have known that. It's still tragic. I mean, she was in her 40s.
Yeah.
And so like when you see that, it's still tragic, but it's like you wouldn't have known. It would have just been a blip on the radar.
Sure.
Are you following the story?
We can't miss Jesse Jackson though.
Yes.
I mean, you
Sorry,
have a guy
I did not mean to pass that over.
Yeah, so when I think about, from my growing up time, civil rights activists, I think about anyway, Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton.
I concur.
Those are the two names that are front of mind when you think about civil rights. In my time, you think about like in the 90s and stuff growing on. Obviously, Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton have been active much longer than that. Jesse Jackson was there at the Lorraine Motel whenever MLK was shot. Like he was there.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I'm picking up the torch and I'm taking it," when that happened. And there is so much that both of those guys have said that I don't agree with. But I do respect, Jesse Jackson and his work. I respect his family, for like Trump's invited, and they had very good things to say about Trump in a day and age when it would be so easy for them to find a microphone and
right.
pile on like everyone else would do. I appreciate them saying no. Like Jesse Jackson was fond of Donald Trump, like Donald Trump, had good conversations over, decades with Donald Trump, and that they were honest about that.
I think if you add Nelson Mandela into that same kind of
group
of
but not so
civil
much,
rights leaders,
not so much in the U.S.
Yes, but like in the context of global,
right?
Civil rights leaders. I was actually having a conversation today about. I have a friend that kind of runs like a history podcast, and he does very, very like deep dives into like very specific topics. And we were talking about like how, and this is relevant to Jesse Jackson, how the MLK files have been kind of, I don't want to say swept under the rug, but they've been limited on their releasing.
Yeah.
And that was at the request of Jesse Jackson and Reverend Al Sharpton. And because there's still a lot of those people who are alive, and Trump respected that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a campaign promise that he made that he would get the JFK files, the MLK files, and Epstein files out.
Right.
And he respected the wishes of Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, and then the MLK family.
Yeah.
And that shows a lot of respect. And that's the mutual respect you were talking about a while ago.
Yeah.
But I was having that conversation with him, and so it was just kind of interesting how that kind of flowed all together.
Yeah. I think like there's a lot of things that Jesse Jackson said that I disagree with from a political stance, but I appreciate and cannot deny his mark on history and what he accomplished, in his time influencing the public in politics and civil rights.
Are you following? There's two other stories that happened with the avalanche in Colorado. Killed a couple people.
I saw the headlines.
It was in the back. It was in the backwoods. It was like cross country skiers that were skiing north of Tahoe. It's
California.
Yeah. What did I say?
Colorado.
Oh, excuse me. North of Tahoe though, Lake Tahoe, and then the Nancy Guthrie case. So they upped the reward to $1 million for today. That's such a bizarre case. It's kind of weird. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah,
especially in this day and age. I haven't followed it super closely, but it's just like, how come we don't know anything?
Yeah. Plenty of conspiracy theories out there. But I don't know, like it seems odd because I think the question is why.
Yes.
Like when a celebrity is abducted, and Nancy Guthrie's not really a celebrity, she's the mom of a celebrity. You just like why? Like, was it just completely random? Did she cut somebody off on the road and they followed her and found out where she lived? And like, it's completely just like has nothing at all to do with who her daughter is. Like, is that a possibility? I think there's plenty of people who say like, no, it's got to be this, that, and the other. Like, nobody knows.
Right.
And I cannot imagine.
That seems to be more of a probability than it's.
Yeah. It just, because it's hard to come up, for me anyway, and I haven't looked into it that close, but it's hard for me to come up with a reason why.
I can't come up with one.
You know, for that particular, like, celebrity. That's odd. But now I'm not really following that. But, you know, because I have no other space in my brain for all the political ads I'm seeing right now. Like, it's, and I ran across one, buddy, and like you guys, Valentina for Congress, go to her Instagram page. You will not be
disappointed.
I'm going to show this. This is just one. It's a very short clip.
What's she running for? Or he?
Congress. It's a she. And let me show the clip. And all of them are this good. Like, Valentina for Congress. Here we go.
I don't fear the swamp in Florida, and I definitely do not fear the swamp in Washington, D.C. So vote me into Congress. We can put every pedophile in the Epstein files behind bars. God bless you all.
Which I thought was funny because that's the first video I saw. So that the one I pinned, but find her Instagram account and you will not be disappointed. It's hilarious. And so you see her with this alligator and she's like, I'm not scared of the swamps in Florida. She's running in Texas, which whatever, like it doesn't matter. But I just like at first I thought she was running for some seat in Florida.
Sounds like it.
She's running for the 31st in Texas. And like there's videos of her out there. Like she just, I don't know, like it's hilarious. There's people stealing her signs and so she's making these videos about that. And, she's out there wrestling an alligator.
Hey,
like whatever gets it done.
I guess.
So, hey, if all political ads are that, I would love them, but they're not. Like you don't have to have the sound on. And I usually I've gotten in the habit if we're watching TV. Like we were watching something the other night on the antenna. I forget what it was, but I mute the commercials every time.
Right.
Because all you need to know is if it goes to a black and white image, that's the bad politician. And then when it goes to color and kissing babies and shaking hands,
right.
Fields of flowers, and that's the good politician. Like it's so cheesy. Like I just can't. I hate that. Like there's this one for I forget what he's running for. But anyway, it's just like this voice comes on and it's supposed to be some southern old dude. You know, he's like, well, how am I supposed to know who to vote for in this race? And this woman's voice comes on and said, well, you know, you need to vote for so-and-so because he's for this and he's for. And then the old gruff voice from the beginning, who apparently doesn't know anything, all of a sudden is now saying, oh yeah, you're right. He does this and he does that and he does that. Vote for. I can't stand the theater of it. I think one of the things I like about this Valentina for Congress is I think all people running for anything should just be them on the screen. They should just get on the screen. Like you shouldn't have all this voice actor stuff and all this voiceover, like kissing babies and shaking hands. You just get on there and say, hey, this is what I'm running. This is what I think I want to fix. This is who I am.
Right.
Done. Like I hate like you were talking about, you didn't like the political theater of the State of the Union. I hate the political theater of politician ads and the 100 mailers we get.
Oh my gosh.
All the big cards. And I'm like, guys, you're like, maybe it's name recognition, but you are wasting money.
But here's the thing. If you're running a negative campaign against Wesley Hunt, why are you mailing me stuff with his name all over it?
Yeah.
Because
some people might even know he's running.
Yeah. And now you're putting him in there. Now, my neighbor and I checked the mail at the same time.
Okay.
And I just happened to see they did not get a mailer.
Yeah.
On any political stuff.
Here's what I don't understand is the negative ad I saw for Wesley Hunt was put forth by Paxton's people.
Right.
And Paxton should want people. The people who vote for Wesley Hunt aren't voting for John Cornyn.
Right. Right. We talked about this.
So I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out.
Are you paying attention to the early voting numbers?
Yeah, a little bit.
So did you see the numbers for today?
No, I haven't looked in a few days.
The last couple of days in so this is not on the run sheet, but I've been following this really closely. The number of registered Democrats voting versus the number of Republicans voting is significantly higher, which is not abnormal, folks, especially in a primary.
In a primary,
it's not abnormal because you don't for example, people are not going to go vote on the Republican side for Doc Peters or whatever Doc is.
Yeah, the guy running
against Abbott because everybody knows
he doesn't have a chance.
That Abbott is going to win.
Right.
So therefore, you're not going to see a big turnout, especially in the state of Texas, which is where we live, for that political party.
Right.
Now today, it was like plus 4,000, something like that, plus or minus a couple hundred. Mm-hmm. On the Republican side. So it'll be interesting as we get closer to election day, how many people, what those numbers, if they balance out, if the Democratic primary had a higher turnout at the beginning of early voting, and then when it actually got to voting day, if it kind of balances out. Typically, historically speaking, that's how it has run in primaries in Texas. The Democratic Party turns out pretty heavy early votes, and then as it gets closer to the election and election day, you see it kind of level out across the board.
Yeah, it's like we talked about when we ran down the ballot on the last podcast, Abbott, Dan Patrick. Now we have a question on Attorney General. It is interesting to me. Like you have Chip Roy and MAGA Mays Middleton. That's probably going to be your runoff. And MAGA Mays Middleton, that's his marketing.
Yeah.
His own marketing. We talked about those candidates last time. You have a couple others. Neither one of those are endorsed by Abbott. Aaron Price is endorsed by Abbott, who is probably going to come in fourth.
I can't figure out why he didn't endorse Chip Roy.
Well, here's my problem with Chip Roy is we talked last time. We've said this before. I have a lot of room in my heart because I was one of people who didn't like Trump when he was running in 2016 before he won. Once he gets the nomination, of course, he's the guy. But people who supported a Ted Cruz or a Marco Rubio in the primaries in 2016, but then came over to the Trump camp once he's the nominee. I have a lot of space in my heart for you. The problem I have with Chip Roy is he voted for impeachment.
Right.
That's a step too far for me.
Right.
Because I knew Trump was impeached twice, once for the Russia collusion, which we know and confirmed was a hoax made up by the Clinton campaign in collusion with the Obama presidency, completely made up. The Steele dossier is completely fabricated. That's undisputed now on both sides of the aisle.
And is not talked about, by the way.
Yeah, and he was impeached for that.
Right.
And then again for January 6th. And Chip Roy voted to impeach Trump. And if I knew it was a load of crap back then, you're a congressman. You have more access than I do. And I could tell back then, whenever he was impeached first, that that was a load of crap. And you couldn't?
Yeah.
And you voted for that? Yeah. That's a really hard pill for me to swallow for Chip Roy. He will probably win.
Oh, I think so.
But I've got an issue with him on that.
I think those races are going to go. I do have one local race that I'm following very closely. It's in Hunt County, Texas. It's the Justice of the Peace.
Oh, we got a JP election.
Yeah. Vanessa Woodley.
I've seen
highly support her.
Yeah.
I think she'll be a great Justice of the Peace. I've worked with her and her husband. He's the chief of police for our school district. Okay. And I think they both do a very good job. It would be a loss for the district if she wins it.
Yeah.
But I hope she wins.
Okay.
And she's also like working through this campaign. So like it's difficult to run for public office.
Yeah.
And she's also holds a full-time job.
Yeah.
Which is not easy to do. Yeah. And so I have a lot of mad respect for that.
I haven't voted yet. I like to vote on election day.
Same.
We have early voting through this Friday, and I may in the next couple of days, but I think I'll be able to on election day, and I really like voting on. I like voting on election day, wearing a little sticker on election day. I'm a kind of, I don't know, traditional like that. But
my voting poll location is right near where I work.
Oh, that's nice.
So I can just go on my conference period.
Yeah.
So it works out best. And actually, the early voting one is very difficult to get to in my section of town. It's not real easy to get to. And it's not going to be a quick in and out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you got to go into the different part of town, and it's in downtown Greenville, and that's not just super easy to get in and out of on a day when I'm working. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
I think some Mamdani voters though are starting to regret their decision.
Okay, so we're going to talk about his budget first, but I want to also throw in the snow shoveling job.
Yeah, I put both on there.
Okay, awesome. So Mondami's budget for the New York City budget is $127 billion. Billion with a B. Now,
it's hard to quantify what that is, so we'll compare it to
the state of Florida.
The whole state. And it's not a small state. Florida's a big state.
It's $10 billion more than the entire state of Florida.
Yes.
Which is 3 times more the population of New York City.
Yes.
So the state of Florida has 3 times the amount of people.
Yes.
And the New York City budget is $10 billion more to get it. To that's what they're trying to pass.
Yeah. And did you see the videos this week of middle-class people protesting Mondami, saying, wait a second, I thought only the rich people were going to have to pick up this tab.
Yeah.
Now, which happens every time.
Every time
Democrats run, how are you going to pay for it? Well, we're going to tax the rich. And then who winds up actually paying for it? Everybody with a job.
Middle class.
Yes. Everybody who works a job winds up getting a tax increase every single time. I will tell you that as a CPA, I've seen the tax law changes and I know who winds up paying for it. And it's just like regular Joes out there working jobs whose kids go to school with your kids. Like it's not all the rich private school people. It's not.
So another way that they're boosting income in the state of New York is once in a decade snowstorm comes along. And if you haven't been paying attention to New York City, typically about once a decade, usually they have these massive nor'easterns is what they're called. They look like a hurricane, but it's snow. New York City got
Snow-a-cane.
Yeah, snow. Ooh, I like that word.
We have thunder snow down here.
We do have thunder snow, and that happened when it snowed.
Yeah,
I don't know if you heard it.
We did get some thunder snow,
but Mondami comes out and says, "Hey, we need volunteers. These would be paid positions, but you have to come in and you have to fill out the paperwork."
These are the requirements to be an emergency snow shoveler.
How many? Okay, so if you had to guess, this is a Democratic socialist running this city who does not support voter ID. If you had to guess, how many identifications would you have to show to get paid in the New York City emergency shoveling program?
Emergency snow shoveler.
5.
But if you want to vote, whatever, it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. But if you want to get paid by the New York City,
we need 2.5-inch photos.
Oh, Jesus.
You see these requirements on here?
I can't really read them because they're small and I don't have it up here on my phone.
We'll put it up more clear on the YouTube video. But essentially, you have to show ID to register to Snellville Show for free for the city of New York. But you don't have to show an ID to go vote.
It's asinine.
You have to prove your citizenship to volunteer to shovel snow. You don't have to prove your citizenship to vote.
Now, apparently the streets of New York were well cleared, much better than the snowstorm that they had like 2 weeks ago, to where there was literally like trash lining the streets, and it was just horrible. There's a YouTube vlogger. He's really, really popular on YouTube. Is Casey Neistat, and he did a whole video on like the just garbage that was lining the streets of New York. Yeah. And then he did another one for this one. He didn't really go into the details of it, but of the trash. But that's usually what happens later on down the week. So it's just the dumbest thing ever.
Just trying to make it make sense.
And then when they were like, they were asking him about the comparison in his press conference, he was like, "Well, this is a federal law, and we have to follow the federal law." Well, then why are you stopping the SAVE Act?
Which it's always been a federal law. You have to be a citizen to vote. We're just saying you have to show documentary proof. The SAVE Act is just saying you have to actually show documentary proof instead of just checking a box and saying you are. Did you see Air Force One's new paint job?
Did you see it was flying over our area?
Air Force Two. The big one's not painted yet.
Ah, okay. That was Air Force Two. I like it, honestly.
That's Air Force One. I do like it.
Yeah.
I am somewhat of a traditionalist and like the big baby blue, like you see Air Force One. So when Trump said he was going to change the paint job, I was like, oh man. And I kind of filed it over in the Gulf of America, file for Trump, doing Trump things. And I'm like, okay, he wants to put his mark on Air Force One. Like he put his mark on the Kennedy Center, and now they're renaming the Palm Springs Airport after him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Which makes, he's a president. Like,
right. That's not uncommon.
Yeah, it's not uncommon at all.
I don't think he should have changed the name of the Kennedy Center to be clear. But I understand, like we have H.W. Bush Airport. You know, there's George W. Bush Parkway.
when I fly into Vegas, it's named after Senator Reid.
Right.
It's Harry Reid International Airport.
Right.
Used to be McCarran. Now it's Harry Reid. When he died, they named it after him. But this is Air Force One's new paint job, dark blue on the bottom with a gold and red stripe. Trump's going to have some gold on there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with this at all. The original reason why they painted it sky blue is to avoid ground to surface air missiles.
Yeah.
Or ground to air missiles to, when it was painted in the 60s, 50s, and 60s. That's why they stopped. That's why they painted it sky blue.
Sure.
That's historically speaking, that's why they did it.
Yeah.
But now, they have so much stuff on that thing that we don't even know about.
But like you mentioned, I don't know all or some because, we can't know. If they tell us they'd have to kill us. But we have a defense contractor close by. Yeah. Close by to where we live. And Air Force One shows up there every once in a while. And so
allegedly.
And it's getting a new paint job, allegedly. No, for real. And Air Force Two, the smaller jets have already been painted, and yes, those have been spotted flying in our area. So
it's always funny. It's always funny when someone new from the area sees it and they post it on the Facebook.
Like, look what I saw today, and I'm like, yeah, it's called Tuesday. It's not that common, but it is common.
It is common, especially during the W. Bush era. He would fly in and out of here.
Right.
They would store it there.
Yeah.
One of them would be stored in another location in Central Texas at the same defense contractor's hangar. And then
in that town.
And then the second one would be stored here.
Yeah.
So it's not that uncommon for people who've been in this area for quite some time.
I like it.
But it is cool to see it.
I think it looks nice.
Yeah, I agree. When do we get the new one?
That's it.
This is the new one.
It's getting painted, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, plus so we got the new one from Cutter. And that's the one that's going to get the first paint job. The current ones with the baby blue, they're going out of service.
Yeah.
And then we have an order for 2 more 747-8s.
Gotcha.
So
there'll be a total of 3?
Yep. Yeah. Because I think when Trump leaves office, I don't know all the legal smeagol on this, but I think when Trump leaves office, that's the one that'll go to his library.
Oh.
Because something about gift rules and things like that. So I think that's why the other 2 -8s have been ordered, because
it's a gift
there's
to President Trump.
There's always 2
Gotcha.
Planes that like the technical Air Force One. But I think when Trump leaves office, that one goes to his library.
Cool.
The gift.
Where's his library going to be?
Palm Springs.
Okay. I think I'll take a trip to go see that.
I'll visit it, yeah.
It'll be, did you ever go, this is not a president, but did you ever go see Elvis Presley's airplane? Ever been there?
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oddly small.
Yeah.
His home was oddly small.
Yes. Graceland.
Yeah.
If you ever go visit Graceland, it is crowded and tiny. Speaking of presidential libraries. So I've been to a few. You've probably been to a few.
Been to a few.
we are in a couple weeks. We're heading to the beach. That's spring break. That's a thing we do. Heading down to the Florida Panhandle. Going to hit the beach for spring break week. On our way, we're stopping in Biloxi. So we're going to drive all the way to Biloxi and stay the night there because there's an MGM resort there.
Oh.
You know, I'm all about the points.
I do.
So if I can stay at any MGM property, it is a huge benefit to me in our Vegas trips. And MGM is where we stay in Vegas, all their properties, and they have a property in Biloxi, Mississippi, Beau Rivage, which, interestingly enough, it's built just like the Bellagio in Vegas. Looks the exact same. The building does. But in Biloxi is the Jefferson Davis Presidential Library. Part of me is like, I don't want to go to that. I want to go to the Confederate President's Presidential
I was about to say,
Library.
why don't you explain who that is?
He wasn't a president of the United States. He was a president of the Confederate States. And then part of me does. I'm squarely on the fence. I'm like, I want to go for the history. And then part of me is like, I don't want to give him another smoke ring. I don't want to give him like the same provenance I would going to another presidential library. Like, I don't like that they call it a presidential library.
I don't think I knew that there was one there.
I think they just should call it the Jefferson Davis Library. Museum, whatever. Like, I don't like they call it the Jefferson Davis Presidential Library. I'm like, you are the president of corrupt states who seceded from the Union to keep slavery a thing. Like, I have a big issue with this.
I wonder what gifts are there.
I'm on an island from a lot of my friends and people I hang out with about this, but I have a big issue with like Confederate monuments and things. Like, you don't build monuments to the losers. Like, come on.
If somebody
find me the
like
monument
if somebody,
to Hitler in Germany, please.
If somebody ever like listens to from 1 to 59, they're going to be so confused about our political stance.
We're all over the place, man. But that's how we started off. We were like, you listen, like there's nuance.
If you go, I'm interested to see what gifts are there. Like what countries sent Jefferson Davis gifts.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know, like when you go to the Bush one, that's the one that I've spent the most time at and that I remember the best. Yeah. You go in and you see all the presidential gifts that he's received. Okay. And remember we had that saber that was given to Trump from England. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
they
that
had to get it back or something.
They had something along those lines. But that would theoretically be in Trump's library when he leaves. Right. When he leaves office. And so I wonder what gifts would have been given to Jefferson Davis.
I don't know.
Because we didn't really have, like, I'd say the Confederacy did not have that many international supporters.
That's what I was going to ask next is, I'm intrigued by the Civil War. I think it's interesting. I like the history of it. And we're not going to have a whole lot of time. Like we're driving from here to Biloxi. That's a day.
Yeah.
All right. You know, we're going to get some lunch probably around Alexandria and then head on into Biloxi and we're going to get up in the morning and sleep in and then probably head on over to the beach. Like, because the first day, since we can't check into our Airbnb until 4-ish, we're going to go to the Pensacola Naval Air Museum.
I want to go to that.
I've been before, last time we were there. It's really cool. So I'm going to take the boys there and maybe my middle daughter might want to go. So, and then my wife's going to take the girls to the Pensacola boardwalk and shop and do their girl thing.
I'm very curious. I'll research that tomorrow because I don't think I knew that there was a Jefferson Davis Memorial presidential quote unquote library.
Yeah.
Lots of thoughts are going through my head about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think you're supporting the Confederacy by going to that, to be clear.
No, I don't either. I just don't like they call it the presidential library. I'm like,
That's
you
fair.
weren't. Anyway, it's a petty thing, probably. This is a really good cigar.
Oh man, mine's always good. I don't know that I've ever smoked a bad Perdermo.
Yes.
I'm in a Facebook group of like Perdermos, and there's been a lot of them that they've been showing where they're cracking along the seam where they put the glue, like it's not glue, but where they seal the cigar.
Yeah.
I've never had that problem. It's a moisture problem.
Yeah.
But right now it's super duper dry outside, so it shouldn't be that big of an issue here right now. But I've seen a lot of people in that group posting about it. So maybe it's just a bad batch or something, you know?
Yeah, Perdermos, Rocky Patels. We have a lot of ones we like.
Friend of the show.
Speaking of a lot of thoughts going through your head. Or not going through
Or
your head.
not.
This gets better and better.
AOC was also in Germany and had a response to Rubio's speech.
Yeah, we talked about Rubio's speech on the last pod, and I said on that podcast, who do the Democrats have who can go toe-to-toe with this guy? And he's already said he's not running. He's saying he'll be J.D. Vance's biggest supporter.
Correct.
But who in the world, any Democrat, name them, who can go toe-to-toe with this guy? Like, whether you agree with what he was saying or not, just how well he communicates, his conviction, his knowledge.
And the amount of jobs that he has.
But AOC, she didn't like his speech very much. This is the first thing she said.
Rubio's speech was a pure appeal to Western culture.
Is that a problem? Are we not the West? Like, would you rather it be an appeal to Eastern culture? Are you back in the USSR? Like,
I watched her whole speech.
yeah.
And I did not understand what she was trying to get at here.
Yeah, no one did.
My favorite part was when he said that American cowboys came from Spain.
I thought they came from Winnetou, but
I believe the Mexicans and descendants of African enslaved peoples would like to have a word on that.
Listen, like, no. Where the heck did the people in Mexico come from? Like you said, one of them, African countries. Yes, like Mexico is populated by people from Africa. That's one of the places that how Mexico is populated. Where else? Who introduced horses to Mexico? Spain. Hey, here's another thing. Like she actually said what Rubio said. Oh, I'm pulling my own cord. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, with your feet.
I am. All right, that's my fault. Anyway, what she said, she used the word vaquero, which is what Rubio said. Like,
Right.
Vaquero is not a Mexican word. It's not even a Spanish word. You know where it comes from?
I do.
Portugal. Guess what country's right next to Portugal?
Not Africa.
Spain.
It's across the Mediterranean Sea, though.
And here's another thing. Like, I feel like we give AOC so much more credit than anybody else does because we have said on the pod we don't think she's stupid.
100%.
And there's a lot of people who think she is.
I still, even after this statement, I don't think she's stupid.
Yeah, but like you pick that, and like you said, her whole speech makes no sense.
None.
Like, and then that's what you pick to harp on his. Like, listen to all of Rubio's speech, and then listen to all of her response, and like, what are you talking about? And so she got some pushback on this comment and her response to his speech. And so then, did you see her response video?
I did.
This is even better. This is her response to getting criticism for her response to Rubio's speech. There's like a dog snoring in the background too. Like it's odd.
If you think that I don't understand foreign policy because out of hours of discourse about international affairs, I pause to think about one of the most sensitive geopolitical issues that currently exist on Earth, I'm afraid the issue's not my understanding, but rather the problem is perhaps you've gotten adjusted to a president that never thinks before he speaks.
Okay.
That like
first
so
off,
the problem's not her, it's you.
I gotta go. First off, does she have COVID or?
Yeah.
She's not.
I was gonna tell you.
Yeah, she sounds sick.
She might be.
She might be.
Stuff's going around.
And
she just got off an airplane. And you always get sick after you get on an airplane.
And also, go into the other room if your dog is asleep or whomever is in there sleeping. Go into the other room.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit, so I had to look up the video and other sources.
I did
too.
too.
Still hear the dog snoring. I guess that was a dog. Could have been a person. Probably a dog snoring. But it was like, come on. Like, first of all, that's what you pick to go against Rubio on with his speech at the security conference. And then, like, number one rule of when you're in a hole is stop digging. And then she posts this video, which makes no sense either, and basically tells everyone, if you've got a problem with my response to what Rubio said, the real problem is you. Because we've gotten used to a president talking about Trump who says stuff before he talks. So the problem is, like, I thought we were talking about Rubio, but now we have a problem with AOC because we've gotten used to listening to Trump. What?
I don't know.
I wish I could take this microphone off the stand and hit myself on the back of the head with it. Like, make it make sense. They have no one. Somebody will get the nomination. They have no one.
Well, and
because when we finish talking about this, we're going to jump to Gavin Newsom, and it's even worse. Maybe it's worse. I don't know.
I mean, so AOC basically insulted Hispanic heritage. Would you say is that would you argue that statement is true? Okay. Then you have
like
what a hill friend of the show.
What a hill to die on. That we're gonna the hill to die. The speech that what AOC wants the world to hear after listening her response to Marco Rubio's speech at the security conference is, he's dumb. Vaqueros didn't come from Spain, and everybody laughs. That's listening to her. Like, are you laughing at her? Because
I don't know. In that moment, I would probably be like, "Oh, ha ha ha!" Wait,
she should go on "Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?" Anybody should, because I've heard Republicans say dumb stuff too. Like, anybody who wants to run in any race needs to go on "Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?" And if you can't win the fifth grader, then you can't. You're out, disqualified.
What she says is 100% true in the second one. She does sit in a bunch of foreign policy, and I would not doubt for a second that she knows a lot more about foreign policy. However, you have to be able to convey the message as well.
That's what I mean.
That's part of it. And like, Trump does say dumb things.
Yeah.
But he also isn't up there like, hey, I'm the smartest guy on the planet. I mean, he does sometimes. I guess I shouldn't say that. But like,
oh, he does. He talks about how high his IQ is.
Yeah, but at the same time,
he's guilty of the same thing. It's like, if you want to talk about how high your IQ is, quit talking about dumb stuff. Like, man. And like, here's the thing. Like we say, we have defended her. When people say like, well, if AOC runs, it's like, you know, trains running straight to the station. There's no chance. And I'm like,
right.
No, like, but then she does stuff like this and proves us wrong.
I wish she would just be quiet to a certain extent.
Don't say you'll get canceled for saying
No, but like, not like as a woman. You see what I'm saying? Like, as a politician, like, let it breathe. Let that speech breathe for a little bit and say things like, you know, I don't really agree with this statement. I don't really agree with this statement, but he's right. He has his right to an opinion. Mm-hmm. I think that comes off much more observant and much more intelligent than saying he obviously doesn't know where Mexican cowboys come from.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like,
the way it comes off is like she can't speak to those other issues. And that's what she's in the second video. That's what she's responding to the criticism of.
Yeah. 100%.
People saying like, you're talking about where vaqueros come from because you can't speak to the more important issues that Rubio mentioned.
Right.
You know, but it's your fault that people think that.
Right.
Because you chose to talk about vaqueros.
Right.
Instead of the more substantive issues.
Well, she could have very easily talked about how he said we were a child of Europe.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Something like that.
Something along those lines, like, hey, you know, we're completely separate. There's several ways she could have picked apart that part of the speech.
From her point of view.
Yeah, 100%. And like, I could have gotten on board with that. Like, I may not have agreed with what she said or how she would have phrased it, but I could at least say, okay, that makes... I don't agree with it, but at least it makes intelligent sense. Now, at least she didn't go as far as to insult the African American community.
As our resident, so I watched the whole speech just to give, and I did on AOC as well. Like, we will play clips on here that, and it's not just to paint someone in a bad light. Like, we are watching the full speech to make sure we're not taking anything out of context. And I promise you, with the AOC clip, we're not. And I watched this whole Gavin Newsom one too.
Hold on, I want to piggyback off that. I try my best when we post something like this. So like when I post, this is posted on our social media pages. I try to post as much as is allowed in the shorts. So for example, that little clip about the Hispanic cowboys, there's like a 3 minute, like a 2 minute and 45 second clip in 2 parts. So there's almost 5 minutes of that clip on our social media pages.
Go watch it.
So go watch it. The same thing with what this one is. I haven't gotten around to posting the response video of hers yet, but
That's
the
all
same
it
thing
is.
with Gavin,
Yeah.
with Gavin Newsom. What in the world?
Yeah. As our resident person with dyslexia, that's what he talks about. That you don't see in the clip. He talks about how he has dyslexia also. But this one is just, it's a gaffe on his part.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, here's Gavin Newsom, governor of California.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you.
What is up with the cadence? Is that what you're about to talk about?
Anytime you're indirectly insulting someone, you'll be like, "Oh, I'm just like you. I'm just like you." But you're just real stupid.
Yeah. What is up with the cadence? I'm like you.
Yeah.
I'm not better than you. Like, are you
I
trying to
don't
do
know.
your inner Obama? Like,
I guess.
because Obama had that pause cadence going on.
Well, so does
So anyway, he says,
Hakeem Jeffries, and so does Tallarico.
but he says, I'm like you, and this is how I'm like you. Watch this.
You know, I'm a 960 SAT guy.
Just like you.
And, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, trying to act all there if you
But
got
you did.
940. But literally a 960 SAT guy.
Pause.
I cannot.
If he says that and that's all he says, ha ha ha, you got the laugh, and then you move on. Except he doesn't stop there.
You've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech.
Just like you. I
Yeah.
can't- yeah. I can't read. You can't read.
It's like, okay, so, and?
Number one rule about when you're in a hole,
Keep digging.
put the shovel down.
Speech.
What is interesting about Newsom is that the internet sleuths take over,
Yeah.
and they find him on a podcast, the Pod Crushed
Okay.
podcast, which I've never ever listened to.
Me neither.
I just did his cadence.
I know you did. I was going to point that out. I thought you did on accident.
No, it's all purpose.
Okay.
Because I am like you, but I have not listened to the Pod Crushed podcast. But he's on there, and
Nobody would listen to us if we
Oh
talked
my
about
gosh,
it like that.
please, nobody listens to us anyway. But he talks about these people wrote a book, and he's like, I read your whole. It's a 260-page book.
Right.
He said I sat down and read it in an hour and a half. So when you're talking to white people, he reads just fine.
Yeah.
But when he's in Atlanta, talking to a room mostly full of African American people, he's just like them. He's a 968 SAT guy. He can't read. You never seen him read a speech. He doesn't read anything because he can't read. An idiot. Like I say, they have no one.
No.
These are their top two. If you look at Kalshi and all the betting apps, these are the top. Kamala's up there too.
I saw Bernie Sanders has kind of fallen off, so which
Yeah.
you kind of said earlier.
But you got, Shapiro's up there.
Yeah.
But these are the top two right now.
Right.
They're saying they get the nomination. I don't get it.
I don't think either one of those two is going to be able to compete against JD or Rubio.
No.
Or even if like a Ted Cruz decides to hop in the race, like they're not going to be able to have a wordsmith battle with him.
No, not. I mean, Ted Cruz is a mind. That's why I always said I don't think he ever gets any higher office than senator.
Right.
I think he's a Supreme Court justice one day.
Yeah.
If the right president. I don't know that Trump would though, because they have some bad blood.
Yeah. Well, I think he would put Rubio in before he would do that. But I think
Maybe.
Rubio has higher aspirations. than
Rubio has
the
a lot
Supreme Court.
more, runway in front of him.
But Trump did say this week or last week about Ted Cruz would be a great Supreme Court justice.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did. He said
Okay.
that. Now, would he actually do it? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think Ted Cruz would be a great, politically we align with him pretty close. I think there's some things that we would disagree on, but ultimately, yeah. I just think that it's kind of crazy that these two potential presidential candidates keep having the same gaffe over and over and over.
I was listening to a political podcast, and it was NPR, which is overly leftist, but talking about how Gavin Newsom really got his bump when he was doing that social media campaign. And he was like, it was the press office tweets making fun of Trump and things that Trump did. And then he'd always put the "thank you for your attention to this matter" at the bottom of it, like Trump signs. Like, he got his bump on that. He's doing a book tour right now. That's why he was in Atlanta, kind of gauging interest. But he's really fallen off. His height was during that social media blitz.
And we did say that you can't go out too soon.
Yeah.
And I still think a Stephen A. Smith is a better wordsmith than both of those two.
Yeah.
He has got a lot more practice on television, that's for sure. And I think he would get a bigger draw, but he doesn't have the political name recognition.
Right. That's what I was going to say. I feel like as well as we all know Stephen A. Smith because we watch sports.
Right.
Like, he doesn't have that nationally.
Right.
That would be really difficult for him to achieve nationally.
But not out of the realm of possibilities.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So I'm
not going to show the picture.
You're not.
But we Kyle can see the preview of the next slide coming up, and I had a picture. I was going to show it, but I decided not to, and I'll explain why. So Prince Andrew was arrested, which I was listening to another podcast, and they said the last time, so Princess Anne was arrested because her dog attacked somebody. Well, no. I don't know if she was actually arrested, but she was like criminally charged.
Okay.
The last time a member of the royal family was criminally charged or arrested was back to 1685. Whew. So yeah, Princess Anne, and that was some time ago. Because it was like her dog bit somebody in a park. Like, she was found responsible. But it's not like she did something bad like Prince Andrew did. And so it's not common for the royal, and which makes sense, for the royal family to be arrested. And if you listen to this podcast I was listening to was The Economist, which is European podcast based in the UK. And of course they made the point. They're like, well, the UK has shown their willingness to arrest a high level person where the US still has not. Like, that was their point. But yeah, he got arrested, and he's since been released for misconduct in office. And they were even saying on the Economist podcast, they had their legal experts saying it's really hard to convict on this.
Yeah.
It was almost like a stretch where they just wanted to arrest a high profile person to show they took it seriously.
Yeah.
More so than America did. But there's not likely that anything's going to come out of this.
I have stopped looking at the Epstein files.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. And here's why.
You're coming around on it.
Yes, but in a way that I didn't foresee. I've kind of poked fun at it, but now as more files get released and the more that I read into it, it's just such evil.
It is.
And we're a current events podcast, and so as long as it's going to go on, we're going to
it's going to come up,
touch on it. But it just seems to be getting deeper and deeper and more evil.
Yeah.
And the more that is released, the more I kind of wish they hadn't. And let me explain why. Not necessarily to protect the people, not to protect the victims, because that's a tragic, tragic thing. But also, there are things in these files that we don't need to know.
Yeah.
That we don't need to know. Do we have a right to know them? Probably.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that. I agree with you, and we're not saying that those should be covered up.
Correct.
Like, prosecutors and law enforcement need to know about it.
Correct.
But everybody in the world doesn't need to know about it.
Right. And
in the same way, I've tried to flesh this out in an argument with people, and I've gotten nowhere with it because, like I say, I like arguing with people, and it just doesn't work out. But I watch Law and Order. It's one of the shows I watch.
Right.
And one of the spinoffs is SVU. It's been on for over 20 years. I've watched every episode. I'm a fan. I don't feel like I need to know, that's a fake, that's a show.
Right.
but even my interest in watching the show and the characters in the show, I don't need to actually know about SVU cases in New York, which is the exact same thing that's going on in the Epstein files.
Correct.
And there are high profile people that get in trouble for these things. And like, I feel like people want to know so much about the Epstein files because it's high profile people.
Right.
But like, I agree with you. Like, we don't, like, I want prosecutors and law enforcement to know, and I want them to do their job. And I don't care who it is on either side of the aisle. When wrongdoing's found, they need to face the consequences of it.
I want to give this guy credit. He has a TikTok. His name is Davis Jones. And he is a lawyer of some aspect, some sort. I don't know exactly what his degree is, but he has a great TikTok page. And he went through and he explained the legalities of it. Now, I'm going to get the terminology wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say something that's incorrect. But here's the basic point. His name is Davis Jones. Again, I repost his stuff a lot on our TikTok page. But basically what he was saying is it's been so long and there's been so many different exchanges between the federal government, the local government, the county government, that the ability to officially charge someone under current law is going to be extremely difficult because there's been so many hands in the pie. As this stuff continues to get released, it's just grotesque.
Yeah.
And that's the only way I can really put it.
Yeah.
And like we talked last week about the Life Touch stuff. That guy is a casualty, but he's a small fish in that pond.
Sure.
Like to me and you, $500 million or $750 million of market value of that company that he's in charge of or was in charge of is a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But to the people that are in these files that we know about thus far, the Prince Andrew, the Bill Gates of the world, the Clintons that we know, those three are that for sure that we know about. That's a drop in the cat. It's just a drop in the bucket to those people. And so as this continues to unfold, and I don't know that we'll ever see the entirety of it. So like now there was a part of the files that were released at some point this last week. Apparently right before he was arrested, he had kind of his, Epstein had these groups of people go out and spread all the files across the country in storage facilities. And the authorities now have this information. And so now they're trying to hurry and get to those storage facilities and get the files that are in there.
Gosh.
So can you, like, if that is true, and that's the other thing too, like, it's also hard to decipher, like, what is true and what is falsified. And then also, like, okay, if this is true, then this also is true. But then this part was AI and this part was not, you know? And so it's like, it's so hard to find the truth. And that's what really concerns me about all this is where is the truth at? And I don't know that we'll ever get the full truth.
Yeah, but I'm amazed, and that's the picture I was going to show. Like, I'm amazed at all the pictures these people took. Like, and you can Google this, and it'll probably be one of the first pictures that pops up. But it's Prince Andrew with a young girl, and Ghislaine Maxwell's back there in the doorway looking on in the picture too. And like, I'm just amazed. Like, these people knew what they were doing, and they're just taking pictures and talking about it and emailing from their own emails and using names. And like, are they that? I think it has to be. They were so arrogant or thought they were so untouchable. And apparently they are, because like Prince Andrew's been arrested, but nobody else has. Right.
Right.
I mean, aside from Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell.
And I don't think that, I think that the victims deserve their day in court, but I just don't think they're ever going to get it.
Yeah.
I don't think they are. And that's the tragedy of this whole story.
Yeah.
Is these women and apparently boys are never going to get the justice that they deserve.
Yeah. And like, I don't want to sound like the most naive person on the block, but it is amazing to me that they took all these pictures, had all these emails, and they're still probably just going to get away with it.
Yeah.
Like,
and
he's like the whole thing with Prince Andrew is like misconduct in office. It has to do with like some money moving around.
It
like,
doesn't have anything to do with that photo you got right there.
Nothing to do with what he actually did.
Yeah.
That we're all so upset about.
And I don't know. I don't know what the outcome is here. And again, I know we were kind of poking fun, or at least I was. I was kind of poking fun at the whole process and how it's gonna whatever. And I don't think it's ever gonna be solved. I don't think it's ever gonna come to a conclusion.
Mm-mm.
It'll just one day they just stop talking about it.
Unless we vote for Valentina for Congress, because she is not afraid of the swamp in Florida, and she will drain the swamp in D.C.
And it just amazes me because it's just like, I'm like with you, like, why would anybody take pictures like this?
Yeah.
Unless it was strictly for blackmail. Yeah. Unless that's what it was for.
But like he's smiling in the picture.
So he knows the picture's being taken.
Yes.
And the ones that came out of Clinton this past 2 or 3 weeks ago. Same thing. And Bill Gates, same thing.
Yeah.
And so I just don't know what is the reasonable conclusion to it? And I don't think there is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there is. And, but yeah, they took a lot of photos. A lot of photos. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how you transition from this. A little bit of a short smoke sessions. Any thoughts on what's going on with the military buildup in the Middle East?
Not really. I'm not surprised by it. I'm not one of these people that thinks like we have to know everything that's going on. I feel like we got bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the right people know what's up and they're moving resources where they think they're going to need resources. So I will say I to piggyback on that, I trust this president and Pete Hegseth with our military.
Agreed.
I think there's a lot of people in the generation, just one generation older than us, who don't. It has a lot to do with Vietnam. Yes. I feel like our generation has a lot of reason not to trust with Iraq and Afghanistan. Like we have our own issues there. But I do, with what Trump has done so far, how he's used the military, how I do believe he's not a war hawk. I trust him with the military.
In other news, Paramount submits a higher offer for Warner Brothers Discovery.
Still going on.
In a bid to block Netflix. There was not officially a release of what the amount was. Also, yesterday, or what day is today? Today is Tuesday. So on Sunday, a drug cartel's head leader, I can't remember his name. Mencho was assassinated. Are you going to travel to Mexico?
Cheap flights to Puerto Vallarta right now.
Well, now they've even extended it over to Cancun.
Oh, really?
Not the travel ban, but the travel advisory. Yeah.
Yeah. I have not been to Cancun or Cozumel in some time. And when people have asked about going, I'm like, you know what? Like, I don't know. Like, no. I don't trust it.
I don't either. I told the story of when we went and the military was there checking our bags and he was like, they tried to take my cutter from me and he was like, oh yeah, finger. And I was like, okay. And I don't think I would trust it either.
No.
Also, the Supreme Court blocked tariffs.
Yeah.
I think there's a bit of confusion on what the Supreme Court meant in the opinion. The opinion was that he used the incorrect law that makes it constitutional, and now they're going to switch it.
Sort of, yeah. I agree with the Supreme Court decision. Like, I know that's an unpopular opinion in Trump circles, but we talked about that on the podcast. When he first started using these sweeping tariffs, we talked about IEPA and what it was, emergency powers, and how we thought back then it was a stretch to say that our trade deficit constituted an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
But also, that's just one section of the law that was used for some tariffs. Like has been talked about, the steel and aluminum and the wood from Canada tariffs, those all still stand.
Right.
He used different law for those, and he's used different laws since to raise new tariffs. I come down on the I don't like tariffs as much side. Like it's his thing, but I'm not a big fan.
And then kind of the last, this is just a little tongue-in-cheek we got going here. The grandson of H.B. Reese's, inventor of the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, is speaking out after accusations that Hershey's company has changed his late grandfather's beloved candy recipe.
Well, get on that. I don't like peanut butter, so.
Oh, I love Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. They're my favorite candy of all time. But yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell. And that's kind of it.
Yeah. What else you got this week?
We're in the middle of track season. Track season's running full speed. It's a springtime in education. It's super, super busy.
Yeah.
And but we haven't. It's just nonstop. But it's not anything. It's always something different every week. So there's the regular schedule stuff is not. Yeah. We start baseball in the upcoming weeks. But we'll see. It's not. Well. It's we're in that phase of life, season of life, where it's kind of like we plan week to week.
Mm-hmm.
And so we get through this week, and then we sit down on Sunday, and it's like, okay, what do we have this week?
Yep.
Yeah.
Working a lot like we're the same way. I mean, we're in the phase where we have something every single night of the week. And we'll do this for a few months, and then kind of school will wind down, and then it'll ease up a little bit, and we'll go into summer. And we've got, like we talked about last week, 3 boys on 3 different soccer teams. And so schedules are out, and it's amazing that there aren't more conflicts. There's literally only one day, the end of next month, where we have all 3 boys basically playing at the same time in 3 different cities. And we'll work that out. And it happens to be a day that my wife is out of town.
Oh, no.
So I've already been texting the grandmas saying, all right, this is the day, and told my oldest, she's a senior and she drives. I'm like, all right, put this day on the calendar because we're going to need some help. Moving things around. So there's only other couple conflicts on it. So the game schedule worked out, but and they're all doing their things, and I've got a senior, and we're heading up for a college visit in a week. And
you excited about that? Nervous about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
But yeah, it's wild times that we live in, and I'm interested to see kind of recapping what we talked a little bit about, maybe live streaming the State of the Union address, but we decided against it. We'll kind of have a little bit of feedback next week, probably have some clips and stuff like that. But
I'm interested to see the fallout. Apparently 72 Democrats skipped the speech.
72, huh?
Yeah, it's a bigger number than what was originally reported. And they had this is so funny. They had an alternative gathering at the Lincoln Memorial. Like an I forget what they called it. It was a state of the something, whatever. They called it something different. And I was like, all of you gave Turning Point USA such grief for having an alternative Super Bowl show, and then you had your own alternative State of the Union. Like, come on.
But typically they have a response usually.
Well, they do a response, but they don't have like an alternative event.
Right.
So, but Hakeem Jeffries did not tear up Trump's speech, and if he did, nobody would see it because he's not the Speaker of the House. Mike Johnson is.
Yeah.
But it's J.D. Vance's first State of the Union, so
yeah, that's
true. It's Trump's first one from Trump 2.0.
Yep.
Hey,
so we'll see.
Yep.
Have a great week.
See you.